नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, good evening, welcome everyone. Those are online and those are on site on this series of seminar, which is the third day, third session, actually not third day, a third session, which primarily will focus on the disciplic succession or parampara. Many times we have disciplic succession and parampara. What is disciplic succession and parampara? Let me explain that here. In Sampradaya versus Parampara, Dr. Deadweiler or Ravindra Sotru has mentioned, very nicely explained. He said that the notion of Sampradaya, also called Parampara, which means literally one after another, is found in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, verse, there Krishna says that originally taught the Bhagavad Gita to the sun god Vivaswan, who taught it in turn to Manu. Then Krishna says, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshya vidhu. This secret teaching was passed down in this way, one after another in parampara, and the saintly kings all understood it in that manner. So here we find the notion that the sure and certain knowledge is revealed because it's coming in a disciplic successive manner. It is submitted through spiritual sound, sabda, sound, which is only truly given by Krishna or his representatives in disciplic successor. So that's the meaning of, we can say, some sampradaya is the spiritual. We have two ways of learning. One is through ascending process, and the other one is descending process. What is ascending process is you learn through your senses, basically. You learn to the senses, your sensual experiences. You learn to the senses, mind, right? You learn to the senses, mind. Some truth is there, but it's not absolute truth. Because we learn that our senses are imperfect. Because senses are imperfect, our conclusion also imperfect. So when we learn from the senses and mind, it's called speculative method. It's a speculative method, or mental speculation also. One cannot reach the highest ultimate conclusion. So this is called ascending process. Ascending process is a process of speculation. Then the parampara actually we learn spiritual science is a descending process. Descending process, yeah, which we learn from higher authority, bona fide, who is the perfect being, who transmits this knowledge. You want to sit something? Okay, please. There's a question. Oh, okay, thank you. Oh, yeah. So the knowledge is transmitted through handed over, disciplic success from top to bottom. Makes sense. Hope everybody understand that. A tradition or parampara is meant to preserve the spiritual knowledge or truth through successive links in a chain that carries on over the years, one generation after another. So with parampara, we retain the authenticity, the purity of the message which is received. It can be retained only with that. If you don't have a parampara system, chain of disciplic succession, then the message can be lost, it can be adulterated. That's why Krishna is concerned that I'm restarting again because the chain of disciplic succession is lost. So one is, sampradaya. Sampradaya means, we get the spiritual knowledge from the higher authority, and it is preserved through a chain of disciplic succession. That's why not only having authority, a good disciple is very important, so who can retain the authenticity of this message without adulteration. Basically, it's passing this as is, retaining the purity of the message. Okay. Just I thought I'll begin with what is the parampara means. It's called avaroha process, pantha. Avaroha pantha. Avaroha pantha means descending process. We receive as mercy knowledge, and we accept as is, and pass is also as is. This way it is said, how much time immemorial this parampara is retained, the purity of this message without getting lost. Wonderful system, isn't it? So I thought I'll just begin with this thing. And what is this parampara? There are many times with theistic philosophy and atheistic philosophy. Theistic primarily will focus on the theistic philosophy. What is theistic philosophy? Is theism. Theism means we accept the God, presence of God. That's theistic. Atheistic means that some philosophies, they deny the existence of God. They have chain of thing. So in theistic and in atheistic, we get what? Buddhism and Jainism. They're atheistic philosophy. They don't accept the concept of God. So that's atheism. So we are focusing on the theistic philosophy. From Padma Purana, this is, we can see, Sampradaya Vihinaye Mantraste Nishphala Mataha Atha Kalo Bhavishyanti Chatvaraha Sampradayanaha Sri Brahma Rudra Sanaka Vaishnava Sri Brahma Rudra Sanaka. That's four things. Vaishnava Kshitipavanaha Chatvaraste Kalo Bhabya Hyutkale Purusottamat Ramanujam Sri Sri Chakre Madhvacharyam Chaturmukha Sri Vishnu Swami Nam Rudra Nimbadityam Chatursanha. So this is coming from Padma Purana already. It's evidence where it is coming from. So I know it's not easy to, so let me explain what he speaks about this. Sampradaya Vinaye Mantras Nishphala Mataha means next chapter, next week we will focus on the mantra actually. So before we focus on the mantra, I was giving a parampara how to receive the mantra. So this says that all mantras which have been given to disciples not in an authorized way, sampradaya, are fruitless. People create mantras. Nowadays, you can, and currently with AI, you can create anything. And before AI also, people created mantras and they had their own mantras, their own way of doing. You can do it. You can do it. But what is the Padma Purana says? It says fruitless. Yeah. We may be chanting 5,000 names, so we may be chanting, lakhs of mantras. But if it's not a bona fide, then it's a fruitless. This details about this subject will come in next seminar. But at least you got that, what we practice, a bona fide disciplic succession retains receives and retains its authenticity through disciplic succession, first of all. In Kali Yuga, in this age, there'll be 4 bona fide sampradayas. Each of them were inaugurated by Sri Devi. One is Sri Devi means Lakshmi, which is concept of Narayan. One is by her, known as Sri Sampradaya. And then second one is Lord Brahma, which we all come under the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. And the third is known as Rudra, the Rudra Sampradaya. And the 4 is Kumaras, known as Sanaka. Kumaras is 4 Kumaras. Rudra Sampradaya is coming from Nimbarka Swami. So yeah, Nimbarka Acharya. 4 Kumaras choose Nimbarka Acharya. Is this Kumara Sampradaya is Acharya of this age. So basically all these 4 lines of teachings, you're getting, Kathy? Theistic philosophy.
I understand. I thought we were following Vishnu, not Brahma.
No, yeah, but these are the acharyas. These are the teachers.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Brahma, all this Sri, Brahma, thank you. Sri, Brahma, and Shiva, and Kumaras. They are the propounders of the 4 original schools of theism. It's nothing new. It's been there since time immemorial. Vaishnavism is not new. Okay, these are 4 schools. From beginning, it's existing due course of time. It comes, the Lord establishes Brahma, Shiva, and Sri is Lakshmi, and 4 is Kumaras. But where did they receive from? They all received from the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Rudra is Shiva.
Shiva, he also received from Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah, Rudra received from Sankarsana, as far as I remember. Sankarsana. So they all receive. Everyone is okay? So Sri Devi made Ramanujacharya the head of the lineage. Lord Brahma appointed Madhvacharya, and Rudra, Vishnu Swami appointed Vishnu Swami, and Kumaras appointed Nimbarka Swami, Nimbarka Acharya. These are called Sampradaya Acharyas in this age. Head.
Yeah. You said Sri Devi is Lakshmi.
Lakshmi, Sri is Lakshmi. That's why it's called Sri Sampradaya. Okay. Kumaras has the 4 Chatus Kumaras. Sanaka, Sanatana, Sananda, the 4 child form Kumaras. Brahma's sons there are 4 sons who are brahmacharis. Later they become Vaishnavas. The 3rd canto, we are reading, that's the incident you're part of the class.
Right.
You remember?
Yeah.
The conversation between Lord Vishnu and the 4 Kumaras, the cursed Jay and Vijay.
Right.
You're part of the current reading. In the morning we read about that. Okay, so at least we got these 4 sampradayas and sampradaya heads.
So Prabhu,
and
Hare Krishna.
theistic philosophers. Now, coming back to there's one more sampradaya also.
Can you hear me?
It's called Advaita.
Hare Krishna.
Their philosophy is Advaitavada. The Acharya is Sankaracharya. But this is what is. They also taught Advaita. Also, Sankaracharya also teaches us theism. You know, there's a atheism, which is Jain, and Buddhism is atheism because they deny the existence of God. However, Sankaracharya teaches also theism, but then what is the difference between Advaitavada and the other 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas? That we will discuss a little bit. It makes sense? So total 5 we are talking about. 4 are one is non-dualism, and 4 as a dualism, you can say in some aspect. Means non-dualism means God and living, there's no difference between God and you and me, everyone, there's no difference. They all are equal. Non-dualism. But we are not going to discuss full on this subject today. we have discussed, and we can some other time we can discuss what it is. Anyone has any questions, we can discuss later. But Chaitanya Charitamrita, we are reading this only. Also, we are reading about this in Chaitanya Charitamrita at this time. Okay, our primary focus is we will go into what is if four sampradayas, Vaishnava sampradayas are teaching theism, the God, Lord and living entities are different individuals, basically individuals. Then what is the difference? Why there are four sampradayas? And the question can come: why are they conflicting? Are they contradicting? Absolutely not. So here we can see these four sampradayas are basically to re-establish the theistic and personalism. Vaishnava's philosophy is to re-establishing theistic. Theistic means existence and recognition of God, and personalism, that he is also an individual person. But these are not drastic. Explanation cannot come just like that. It's not very easy that you just do some magic, whole living entity will become realized, self-realized, and understand God. No, it's a very gradual evolution. Even small children are here. Parents has put so much of effort to change their consciousness, isn't it? School, college, this, you put so much, then they come to, we expect to be a good human being. So similarly, evolution also in this age of Kali is very gradually the change has been given to the mankind here. Vedas are convoluted and misrepresented by Shankaracharya's philosophy. It's because thinking that Veda, the living entity, and the Lord both are same. I'm sure many of us are also thinking the same way. That's the whole purpose of studying in this sampradaya. God is whole thing is to basically describe the relationship between the living entity and the Lord, Supreme Lord. Non-dualism says that there is no difference, that Adi Shankaracharya says. But dualism says, no, there is a difference, and every sampradaya, every teacher provided in different way, to a different degree, how they are different and how they are same. Any questions so far on the online? Everyone is getting?
One question from my end, Prabhuji.
Yes.
So, which sampradaya we belongs to, Prabhuji, among the four?
Acha, we come, our roots is from Brahma Sampradaya.
How it is, Prabhuji? I just want to clarify.
How it is means, from Lord Krishna to Brahma to Narada to Vyasa to Sukadeva Goswami. Actually, I will cover that. I haven't finished yet. This will come later.
Yes, sure, Prabhuji.
Sukadeva,
and also one
Sukadeva
Prabhuji
Goswami, Suta Goswami, then gradually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Madhavendra Puri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 6 Goswamis, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and we all, his disciples, and we all are. So that way we come from Brahma Sampradaya.
Got it. Thank you, Prabhuji. Jolly Prabhuji has one question.
Mataji, you have any question? Anuradha Mataji?
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah, Prabhu. No, I think you're going to cover it.
I'm
That
going
was
to
the
cover
question.
it. I was trying to give a basic understanding what Parampara is, and why sometimes the people come as, oh, there's a conflict, or this Parampara is different, that Parampara is different. We have to understand in a proper source, so that we can appreciate each everything. And there's the Lord's desire to re-establish this sampradayas, to reinstate the teachings of the Vedas, and through different acharyas, very gradual progression. Very gradual progression. So I'll cover in another 20 minutes, then we can ask questions. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. So here we see the 4 sampradayas. Apart from Sankara Sampradaya, we learn Ramanujacharya is Sri Sampradaya, his Acharya of the Sri Sampradaya. and Madhvacharya is Acharya of Brahma Sampradaya, and Vishnu Swami is Rudra Sampradaya, and Nimbarkar Swami is Kumar Sampradaya. Almost all Sampradaya Acharyas that appeared in the South India actually. They all appeared in the South India. Okay, next is we discussed. Let me see if I went back. Okay. So what is the difference between what the Sampradayas are preaching, sharing with us is basically in simple way you can understand that teaching us the existence of God and our relationship with God, basically how it is and how we are different from each other. Just some why there are four Sampradayas. The details are there, of course, because it's not very easy to explain. But the tattva is named as, first is Sankaracharya we discussed, is Keval Advaitavada, because Advaitavada means straight. There is no difference between God and living entity. Everybody is God, basically. I know you all are very happy. See, already I see smiling faces.
Not happy at all. How we-
Everyone is God. His philosophy, everyone has become God. Everyone is God, actually. Now, you all are, because you're forgotten, you're suffering now. As soon as you get liberated, you become God. So everybody is like he put as if there's no distinction between you, me, everybody, all are equal. Everyone is God. That's the Advaita philosophy, Sankaracharya. Make sense? Okay. Now the Ramanujacharya, he comes, he explains, he learned from there, but he understood how everybody can be God. How everybody can be God. I always depend on something, right? Always depend. And he said that no, living entities, nature is to serve, but who will serve? Who will serve? Our nature is to, our dharma is to serve. And Visishta Advaitavada means no, there's slight difference. He propagated the philosophy, very gradually distinct between the Lord, the separated. Sankaracharya gave everything same, that all are good. You, me, everything, there's nothing to discuss much in one sense. And all these shastras they used to prove their understanding. Most of the shastras. Because in Vedas and Puranas, you will understand two aspects of the Lord. One is impersonal aspects and personal aspect. Like Upanishads we are reading, not God can walk, he cannot walk also. We studied, he can walk, he cannot walk. So just because he cannot walk, it means he is impersonal. He doesn't have a personality. He's there's no feature. It's called nirakara. Nirakara means the person doesn't have any form, doesn't have any eyes, doesn't have any intelligence, doesn't have any consciousness. That way is being presented by Advaita Vada. But Ramanujacharya began explaining, no, how is it possible? There is slight difference is there. That's what's called Visishta Advaitavada. I'm not going to discuss the whole thing, but I'll share with a little bit on the Wikipedia so that detailed subject anyone, they can always study. But at least this is a summary, broader understanding, not a detailed study. We don't have 1 hour, we can study everything. Got it? What this Sampradaya is giving is basically teaching us relation between a living entity and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Makes sense? Then the second one comes the Brahma Sampradaya teaches Madhvacharya. He said, oh, I didn't share it. You all should have told me. You can see the screen? Everybody can see the screen here?
Yes, Prabhuji.
All of you can see the screen?
Yes, I can see the
No,
screen.
Yes, we
Can you
can
see
see
the
it, sir. Yes.
Yes, we can see.
my PowerPoint you were able to see?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, great. Because I'm doing okay. Got it. Should we move? Continue? I think something is there, but you all cannot see. That's okay. Right. Okay, let's move. I'll explain this. Yeah. It's not coming here. Let me put this one here. Okay, try. Excuse me. Yeah, but that is coming actually. This is coming.
We can just remove it.
I did it. Let's see if it comes now.
Yeah. Oh, just open something else actually.
Yeah, that's it. I'll do that.
Yeah.
But I want to see, they can see.
So they can see now. Like you can just remove it. It will here then.
I haven't shared the screen yet.
No, they can see the screen. Even if it is not shared because it is connected directly, right?
Yeah, I think now good. Okay, I think we are good. All right, sorry for that. So Brahma Sampradaya, Madhvacharya taught not only about the nature of the absolute truth, who is in Ramanuja Sampradaya, at least he started giving details about the absolute truth. God, how does a God looks like? He's also a person, and final ultimate realization is Narayana. Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Visishta Advaitavada. Right. But we know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Brahma Sampradaya, and all other Sampradayas further elaborated about the Absolute. Further elaborated details about the relationship between the Jiva and the Absolute Truth. Isn't it? The Lord is unlimited. No one is able to explain about the Absolute Truth. Who has the potency to do it? Remind me this, I'll tell on the same subject at the end about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so this is Brahma Sampradaya, which Dvaitavada. Dvaitavada. He propounded further details about the relationship between. He did not deny Ramanujacharya's teachings, basically. No, they don't contradict each other. They all on the same theology, but further explanation, details, analysis of the absolute truth and the jiva and the relationship. Makes sense? The third is, another is Kumara Sampradaya, which is Nimbarka Swami, is Dvaita Advaitavada. They propagate Dvaita Advaitavada. Again, same platform. Because on the absolute truth, how does it look like? Who is he? What is the relationship between the jiva and the same thing, but in different levels? Dvaita Advaitavada. And the four is Rudra Sampradaya, which is Vishnu Swami, is called Suddha Advaitavada. Okay, if time permits, I will go through all this briefly. But at this time, we are good. These all this Sampradaya is propounded, taught us about the absolute truth. And they all are bona fide Sampradayas. They all are recognized as Supreme Personality of Godhead. And all the Sampradayas, they work under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, including Shankaracharya, even though we don't accept his teachings. Including Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya has been sent by the Lord to re-establish the teachings of the Vedas in a convoluted form. Because before Shankaracharya, it was all Buddhism throughout the India. And before Buddhism, it's so much of animal killing. Because as the impact of the Kali came, animal slaughter is like rampant. Okay, that's why Buddha came. Lord came as Buddha to bring a human being, make a human being first, pious living, not God consciousness. He said, forget about God. So, but then when you come to the platform of human, you behave as a human being, then you can talk as a God. About God. Otherwise, you are not qualified to learn about God anyway, right? If you're drunk, your mind is not stable, what kind of God consciousness you can practice? So that's why Shankaracharya was sent to very carefully introduce the teachings of the Veda in a convoluted form, so that at least people start accepting the teachings of the God. However, there's no concept of much concept of God. Only concept of God is that you're God, I'm God, everyone is God. That's why now also either east or west, you will find many people like this philosophy that we all are same, everybody is same, everybody is equal. Why? That's the teachings coming from Sankaracharya. Impersonalism, voidism, impersonalism and voidism is coming from Buddhism and Sankaracharya. From that, you have to revive the teaching by giving the personal aspect of it. So since time immemorial, almost more than 1,500 years, the teachings of Vaishnavism is flourishing. Has been taught by different acharyas. Okay, can we move to the next one? You got it? So this is again Visishta Advaitavada. His philosophy was the absolute supreme reality referred as Brahman is a transcendental personality. He's Narayan. Basically, he gave earlier. Shankaracharya did not give any identification of the supreme personality of Godhead. Everybody is God. You worship anyone is God, and you also become God. But Ramanujacharya at least started putting this dualism as a Visishta, that you and God, living entity and God are separate. This contents may be a little change and I can cover, but I'm just giving you this details about it. Okay. Then Madhvacharya's Dvaita Mata dualistic school is classically placed in opposition to Sankara's Advaita. Dvaita stresses a strict distinction between God, which is the super soul, and the individual soul. That's for all the sampradayas, the piece like that only. And this is Kumara Sampradaya, Chatusana Sampradaya, the four Kumaras. This is coming from Hamsa Avatara. Hamsa means there's an incarnation of the Lord in Hamsa Swan. So it's coming from the swan form. The Lord appeared as a white, as a swan form. And they taught these four Kumaras, the science of God consciousness, Sankhya philosophy, and gradually he taught the distinction between jiva and living entity. So this one chain of disciplic succession is coming, is there. Then this one is Rudra Sampradaya, which is also known as Ballavacharya, the Acharya at this, now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. He comes further. He sent all the sampradayas. He said that his desire was that I will propagate the Sankirtan movement. I myself will preach the essence of four Vaishnava philosophies. He took the essence of all the four sampradayas teachings and established one philosophy which is called Achintya Bheda Abheda. Achintya Veda, because it's a very inconceivable. Achintya means inconceivable. Everybody tried to give a relationship between jiva and living entity, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says Achintya, simultaneously one and different. Someone said God and living entity is totally different. Someone said God and living entity is same. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave example. He said that they are simultaneously one at the same time different. And we all know what is that. Simultaneously one is that both the living entity and the Lord are in qualitatively same. Sachidananda. Krishna is Sachidananda. Qualitative sameness is there, but quantitative difference is there. And in Tattva also, the Krishna is a different Tattva. Krishna is a Tattva, Vishnu Tattva, Krishna Tattva. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, we can understand all different categories. Pancha Tattva. There's energy tattva. In energy tattva, which is jiva, like we all are one category, we fall under. Material nature falls under one category. Okay. The Vishnu tattva is fall under one category. Right? Same way, the Lord also falls under one. In this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave Achintya Veda means, yeah, we cannot say living entity is totally different from the Supreme Lord, but at the same time, we cannot say they all are same. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took the essence from all these sampradayas four. That's the Sunday we discussed. He said, from Ramanuja, I'll accept two teachings: the concept of devotional service, unpolluted by karma and jnana, and service to the devotees. It was taken from the Sri Sampradaya. This way, general tendency is that many times try to be people present, oh, ours is better than the other, like this. But Chaitanya, because everything happened under the direction of the will of the Supreme Lord, Lord himself came to teach, give us the knowledge of the highest knowledge, at the same time, highest relationship. He said that there's a song called Jadi Gaur na hoita tabe ki hoita keman dhari tamde Radhar Mohima Prema Rasa Sima Jagat Janata Ke. When all these tattvas they gave out the absolute truth, and Lakshmi also they gave, but no parampara gave about the Radharani also. Who is Radharani? Who is Radha Tattva? And what is the greatness of Radharani? No one, because she's supremely great. And no Acharya could provide those details. None of them. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and so personally Lord Krishna came and provided. And he took the teachings from all four sampradayas. From Ramanujacharya, we discussed about the concept of devotional service and the service to the devotees. How one devotee can serve another devotee. Those teachings has been derived from Ramanujacharya Sampradaya. From Vishnu Swami's teaching, I'll accept two elements: the sentiment of exclusive dependence on Krishna and the path of Raga Marga, or spontaneous devotion. Raga Nuga Marga. He accepted from there. And from Nimbarka, I will take two very important principles: the necessity of taking shelter of Srimati Radharani and the high esteem of Gopis' love for Krishna. These are never taught by any acharyas. The conjugal love aspect. Out of four rasas, the conjugal love aspect is not taught by any acharyas. They kept what they could within their limit, what had been instructed by the Lord. What are they instructed by the Lord? And there's a gulab jamun in the fridge, the second place you can give to the children, they may go. And the fourth one, from Madhava, I will take two essential teachings: his complete rejection and defeat of Mayavada philosophy and his service to the deity of Krishna, accepting him as an eternal spiritual personality. So these subjects, details will take time and deeper understanding, but at least we can understand what is four sampradayas and what is our relationship with the four sampradayas. Do they contradict? Or why this sampradaya is called Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya? Because Lord himself came and propagated, established the Yuga Dharma, the chanting of the holy name, and propagate the principles, the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Krishna, the Samam Bonam, absolute personality, absolute truth. And the living entity his relationship is Jivara Swarupahe Krishna Nitya Das. So all these teachings were given in different degree in other sampradayas, but by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the relationships has been given very clearly, distinctions very clearly made by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So according to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy, Achintya Veda Veda Tattva, the living entity and the Supreme Lord are accepted as one and different at the same time. I just put a picture here, so you all can see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu propagated the essence of four sampradayas. Four sampradayas. Yeah. This is the highest limit of love of Godhead is being given by the Lord himself. Everyone has a relationship with the Lord, but everyone cannot say I have love, and everyone cannot say I have the and highest love, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving in this Sankirtan to Sankirtan Yajna, highest form of love of God, which is conjugal love, conjugal aspect of relationship with the living entity, with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is also, has to be available. You cannot manufacture, you cannot force. It has to be given to us. It has to be given to us. The more actually there, if you have time permits, we will do. But let me go through for any questions if anyone has it. Was it meaningful? Did it make sense? Let me hear from online. Did it make sense?
So, Prabhu,
Cricket Prabhuji, yes.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Prabhu.
And I was saying yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, I'm glad if it made sense. That's good. Radharaman Prabhu, please go ahead.
Yeah, Prabhu. So foundationally, like, so all our theism, right? All sampradayas, and then Vaishnava sampradaya, all our personalism, right?
Yes. Yes.
What's the basic foundational difference? Either is it a philosophical difference, or is it a the type of worship, or the method of worship? What differentiate? So we are in a Brahmadav Gaudiya Sampradaya, right?
Hmm.
So what does it mean? Like Brahmaji profess something which is different than Kumar Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Shri Sampradaya?
Yeah, it's a very nice question. As far as I understand, by following the teachings of each sampradaya, one will be able to attain what the sampradaya can give. When you go to a school or college, they say that this is the courses available. By joining this course and finishing this course, you are entitled to this doctorate, this degree. Right. So in each sampradaya, they declare what aspect of the absolute truth you can realize. So the difference is that different level of realization in different sampradayas. And in Gaudiya, Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya, we learned the teachings of Lord Brahma, which gives the Golaka Vrindavan, stresses the life in Golaka Vrindavan. So that's the difference, because Vaikuntha Dhams are also very vast, and living entities relationships are also very vast. So the only difference is each school provides a certain level of understanding of the absolute truth. That is wrong? No, it is absolutely correct. Example, I know a person ABC, and many people can know that person, but everyone knows that person to a certain degree. No one claims that I know that person. Only I know that person. Others also know. But who can give the best of the knowledge is the person himself. Who can give the best about himself? Because everybody is learning about the absolute truth. That's why Lord himself comes and explains himself. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord had to come. It's not like God consciousness was not there. Krishna presented himself about himself. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. He gave that ability for us to understand and render service. So it's mercy of the Lord. We are able to understand deeper and deeper and deeper. That's what I understand, and they don't contrast with each other. We evolve. Example, there's I think Sachin is also there here. There's a Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you. Brihad Bhagavatamrita explains in Sanatana Goswami. There's a journey of Gopakumara. Journey of Gopakumara, and every living entity is a particular type of relationship with the absolute truth. That's the Lord depends on you, what you want. What you want. Lord depends on you, me, what I want. So based on his, says Gopakumar traveled, throughout different places. Finally, he was satisfied only when he went to Vaikuntha Lok also. But he was not very comfortable. He was not very because the relationship he had is not very comfortable. Then he went to Goloka. Then he embraced Krishna. That's what he felt comfortable. So every living entity has a particular relationship, and by following a parampara, one can get that understanding of the absolute truth. But here, the beauty of Gaudiya Madhva, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya is that Lord Chaitanya himself, Krishna himself, none other than, last week I presented, quoting the verses, he presents himself about himself. Um, that's it. Sachinji, you want to say something?
Yes. Hare Krishna. Excellent presentation. Thank you, Krishnaji. Yes, absolutely correct. From what I have understood over the years, the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Guru Parampara, that the teachings, their manifestation, their commands, their agnya, the mantra, Hare Krishna mantra, their other mantras also, they're a direct route into the one destination, Golok Vrindavan, bypassing everything else. So this is Brahma Samhita right here. So the commentary that is there, and over the years, I mean, I would say emphatically that there is no book like this ever written by anybody. There's no equivalent to Brahma Samhita ever, and there never can be, there never will be. And the reason is that Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, the guru of Swami Prabhupada, he has written the commentary on Brahma Samhita, and the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu found this from the Adi Keshav temple, the scripture. The commentary, I mean, I've been studying spirituality for a lot of years. I can tell you right now that there's no English written anywhere like that kind of English. It's impossible to even imagine that, So I just wanted to mention that is the power of the ISKCON and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Swami Prabhupada, and the actual pathway, the doorway into Golok Vrindavan, bypassing all other destinations. So
thank you. I appreciate. He is studying many sampradayas. He's presenting his finding, and it's about this is the two books. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's the Supreme Lord. He knows where the books, his teachings come from him. But in his South India journey, he discovers two books. One is Brahma Samhita. Second one is Bilva Mangala Thakur's Krishna Karanamrita. So these two books he finds and he teaches that. So our authorities from Brahma's perspective, when Brahma had different level of realizations also, forget about the other acharyas. Even Brahma had a different level of realization. At the beginning he didn't know, then he performed austerity, then he saw the Lord Vishnu revealed himself and he shared with him the Chatusloki from Srimad Bhagavatam. Then after maturity, Brahma understood about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus the Brahma Samhita comes from that. And those are the very authentic sources of knowledge we use. Thank you. Any other question? Anyone has it?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have two questions. One question is, Prabhuji, in the planet, many people, they will not get this benefit, coming into our sampradaya. How to bring them into our sampradaya and teach them, so all of them, so they will get benefit. Second question is, Prabhu, like some of them, while practicing of our sampradayas, due to some sort of obstacles, they cannot able to grow faster. Some kids can grow immediately, like Narad Muni, when he born and he elevated in childhood itself. So some people like 40 years, 50 years, they're not elevating and powerful way in our sampradaya. How they're going to grow better regardless of the age, Prabhu?
Yeah. Two questions, as you mentioned, you have two questions. The first one is, when we are talking about our sampradaya, our teachings is that we should be servant. We don't say our sampradaya, your sampradaya. it is the Brahma Madhva Sampradaya. Rather, I am a student in that Sampradaya. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching is that you become exemplary. Apani Acharya Kara Prachar means you behave, you accept well. That's the way you can teach. And we don't go to other sampradaya saying that, oh, please come to this sampradaya. That's not the way of teaching. Because there's no need. Everyone is getting advantage. Yeah, the devotees like even including Ramanujacharya. Originally he was from Sankaracharya Sampradaya. But he had realization by the will of the Lord, he came. And he came to Vaishnava, he came to Yamunacharya and also established the Vaishnavism. So when we see other Vaishnavas, we never present that we are better than others. That's one thing. Even though they are from other sampradaya, bona fide sampradaya. So we respect, always respect other Vaishnavas, devotees of the Lord. Krishna never discriminate between this or that. And second thing is, you practice sincerely because only when you're connected with the sampradaya, then only the mercy flows. And how the mercy flows? Mercy flows between, it's not a magic. Today I was reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second canto, first chapter. Sukadeva Goswami is teaching that to Parikshit Maharaj, how one will be able to understand. Both the hearer, speaker, and both has to be bona fide. Maybe a speaker is very qualified, but that disciple is useless. Then the relationship, the flow of knowledge doesn't happen. So don't think, many times, as Indian background, we live on the miracles only. Only as some miracle will happen, I'll become a realized person tomorrow. Isn't it true? So that's not the Vaishnava's teachings. Our Sampradaya teaches that you practice, follow the teachings very genuinely as a humble and meek and humble. That's at the beginning of this seminars, we said that the purpose of this seminar is that we remain humble. The more you know about God and yourself, the more and more you will become humble. This Prabhu also told in a question to answer, and what a leader or anyone and how they can present is, best thing you can actually become humble, because so far we've been proud of, puffed up. So yeah, knowing well, appreciating you from which sampradaya, and understanding the teachings very well, being respectful, and following the instructions very carefully. You become first, your best disciple, and that result, you will get exactly the same result your Acharya, your Guru, or the Parampara gives. Everybody will get the same result, whoever the sincere disciple. That's the beauty of it. Does it make sense, Gopinath Prabhu? Does it make sense?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Everyone can get the same what our what Ishwar Puri, what other acharyas of God receive. We can get the same, but it depends on the attitude of the disciple. Generally, we have a tendency of bypassing. Okay, now I learned, I don't need you. Now go to the next one. It's like in office, in a corporate world, we try to bypass. Oh, I don't need this manager now. I want to bypass next like that. But in spiritual platform, doesn't work like that. You remember, the more you enlightened, the more and more you humble. Gopi Bhatta Patakamana Dasa Dasa Dasana Das. If you do not appreciate what you have, what you're learning, and you cannot appreciate in the further initiation also, you will not appreciate. So as you grow, your appreciation, your respect for other Vaishnavas and other living entities will increase. That's the symptoms you can find. I hope I try to explain.
Yes.
Yes.
Any question anyone here?
Like we are following Brahma Sampradaya. Can you give some examples of about the Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, Nambika, and Kumara
Nimbaka.
Sampradaya? Any example from the people's perspective, who are this in this real world? If we talk about that, we know that Vaishnavas are following Brahma Sampradaya. who else are there who are following the other three sampradayas?
Oh, their schools are there. Especially, the question is if you can give some evidence or example of other sampradaya, because sometimes people just come to ISKCON, they don't know. Pushti Marg is Kumar Sampradaya is very prominent. You'll find Sinaji here in Pennsylvania. There's Braj. They are the chain of Pushti Marg. They are. And similarly, Sri Sampradaya, we have devotees also come here from Sri Sampradaya here. The couple of families there, Sri Sampradaya, come and with Tilak use from there. And the Balaji temple, Venkateswar temple in Tirupati Balaji, and those are and Ranganath temple. Ranganath temple was the main place for the Sangha of Sri Sampradaya. It used to be. And nowadays it's a little difficult. Everybody is suffering, a little bit struggling. So you can see big tilak, thick tilak, that's the Sri Sampradaya. And you form the different tilaks, you can understand. But we cannot go with that. Nowadays, even non-devotees can have a tilak also.
90% of these sampradayas have same commonalities, maybe 10% difference. Why we have different? I know I understand different schools like kids have different choices, right?
Yeah. What is your question?
90% of the schools are same.
Yeah.
They meet in every
Yeah.
10% difference.
Yeah, because it's not a difference. It's that the way we understand the difference is really not difference. It's a post-graduation study, post-graduation study. When you get post-graduation, you don't say graduation studies, irrelevant. Right? That's the we should see. Post-graduation study, which in Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave he himself taught with his own example as a Radha Bhava, as a conjugal lover. So those things can be given by the Lord himself. He himself revealed the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's like we have some knowledge like fudgy, and clarity comes more and more. And just because you're part of Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya doesn't mean that you understand. Everyone in this room or on the call do not have the same level of realization, same level of knowledge. So same thing is everywhere. So here by following this, it's revealed to you this much. You can, by following others, it will be revealed to you up to this much of the absolute truth. So it's not a contradictory. The contradictory is because of our mundane conditioning, because we always identify ourselves as body. The contradictory is even if you find in your own sampradaya, sometimes you say, oh, I'm better than the other person. Even one same sampradaya will find it. That is our own disease. What do you say, Sachinji? What do you say? It's our disease, right? When we find the contradiction in sampradayas, that's our own disease. Yeah.
Also, Hare Krishna to everybody. In addition to what Krishna Prabhu already stated beautifully, the fundamentals of Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara should be very clear to all the devotees. What are the fundamentals? And so Prabhupada has, Swami Prabhupada ji has done the most extraordinary thing. I mean, his entire set of writings and audios and videos, the entire set, the thorough study and proper study of them is essential not only for Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. I said it to Krishna Prabhu the other day. It's necessary for everybody in the world. In fact,
yes.
no matter what sampradaya it is, because what Prabhupada has done, he has, by grace of Radha Krishna Bhagavan, by grace of his guru, and by the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Bhagavan Krishna and Radhika ji, he has opened up the full Brahma Vidya. But that Brahma Vidya is not this kind of obscured or this Nirakarvada. He has clarified it so beautifully. Nobody has ever done that, actually. I mean,
yes. Your point is right. So your point is right. It's accessible and available to everybody. Everyone has a desire. They can accept it and progress further about knowing the absolute truth.
And actually, people in other sampradayas, whether they're Nimbarkacharya Sampradaya or Sri Sampradaya, even if they're Christian, Jewish, or whoever they are, if they study Guru Swami Prabhupada's teachings, they will better understand their own teachings, in fact, actually.
Yes, yeah. So one has to be open-minded. One accept Lord Chaitanya's, and Shastra says that if you don't recognize Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, who came for us with an open mind, so a faith has to be there. We can close ourselves, our limit, or we can open ourselves to receive the grace of the Lord, and the Lord will reveal to us. But from my point of view, I cannot say that this is better that, but I can say that only in that authoritative perspective, Brahma and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this is the the Achintya Veda Veda is very clear understanding of a relationship between the Lord and the devotees, and the relationship. It makes sense. Okay, I think Radhaman Prabhu, you have any more question, comments? Second Prabhu, Nilesh Prabhu, Sheila, Mataji.
No, Prabhuji.
I don't know. Was it helpful? Was it helpful? Yeah. These are the. I thought these are the very foundational knowledge. Very much help our community. I'm so glad you all joined. And these are very philosophical and deeper. Kathy, how do you feel?
It's good. I was wondering about some of the other temples and what that was all about.
Yeah.
And this helps to understand.
Yeah. Some other temples we can discuss some other time. Not all temples are spiritual organizations. Sampradayas are spiritual organizations, but temples are not necessarily temples are spiritual organizations. Okay, that subject some other time we will cover. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Vancha
Hare Krishna.
Sheila, Hare Krishna. You okay? You need have a question? Sheila?
No, I'm
Okay.
good. I'm good.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Everyone.